Hi, this is another meditation. Same topic for today is your union in Christ is your joy in your personal cross that you bear. How do you have joy in taking up your cross and following Jesus as in Luke 9:23? You see, it depends on if you are a true worshiper. It depends on if you have a meaningful relationship with Jesus. You see, when we fail to see our cross that we bear as a joy, then we fail to see that it is a joy from our union in Christ, you see. In other words, if you don't have our union in Christ, then when you are not a true worshiper, that is, you're saved, sanctified, set apart for the Savior's service, and beyond Jesus' mission. That is making a disciple makers. We cannot have joy and thus never see Christ's vision. Not your choices that you want. You see, it's Christ's choices and not your choices. So that's the cross. You are called to pick up the cross. Charles Spurgeon once said that there is no joy in this world like your union with Christ. And the more we can feel it, the happier we are. You see, union with Christ is the center of our salvation and our sanctification, and central to all of our deepest joy in this life. That's quotation from Charles Spurgeon. You see, Paul says this way, "For as in Adam all die, and also in Christ shall all be made alive." That's in 1 Corinthians 15:22, you see. And he further explains it in Galatians 2:22 that I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. And that's an amazing union that virtually you say, not I, but Christ, and the life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. So if you ask, what does it mean to experience a union with Christ? It means that you totally dependent on Jesus for the living of your life. It is the cross of Christ, and that's the true meaning. In Luke 9:23, so let me read again and again in a different version, perhaps, of translation. Jesus said to all of them that if people want to follow me, they must give up the things that they want. How then do we experience this day by day? How? Well, Paul answers, by faith, having been buried with him in baptism, and in which you were also raised with him through faith. Again, another text in Colossians 2:12. So you identify with him, Christ Jesus, and you die with him, and you rise with him through faith. And if that's how we experience our initial identity with Christ, how do we go on living in it? Well, Galatians, again, in 2:20, explains and answers it, that I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I live, but Christ lives in me. And that's an amazing union that virtually you say, not I, but Christ. And the life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. Wow. That is such profound. Have a wonderful, good, and godly death.